and then you gotta slow it down, and then you Bucks fizz like. Hey, you alright? Hello, how yous doing? How are yous doing in this Easter fun? Are you over the Easter chalk? Are you over the Easter halls? Are you still kicking about? Are you still out and about doing things? Would be good to know. I've got some things to update you on, and I'm going to talk about this. What's on the live? Wait there, title. So as I know I'm tapping the screen, right? I like to invite people to come and talk to us. I think that's about it now. And there we are. Hello, Casey Adamson. Hello, Rainbow Zoo. Hello, hello, hello. Still in a chocolate coma. Do you know what it is? I haven't had one Easter egg. I'm not a chocolatey person, like. But I am still feeling, my stomach's killing off pizza. I had pizza at the weekend, and I can't normally eat pizza because it knacks us. Because of when I used to compete in bodybuilding, my body just doesn't like anything like that anymore. So I have to be really careful. Hello, Beverly. How are you? Stole the kids when they went to bed, you little sneaky McSneakerson. Has anybody, title of this, have you heard of the Cottington Fairies? And there is a reason I'm asking you this today. Let us know. While you're answering, remember everyone, I'm at Waterstones, the main Waterstones bookshop in Durham on Saturday from 11 o'clock. I'd love to see you come and pop in and say hello, even if it's for a photograph with us. It's a dream come true for us. And I've grafted so hard to get in there. And I'm finally being recognised for what I'm doing with all the children and inspiring them all. Hello, Lorraine. Lorraine came to 7 Stories. She saw what I was all about. And it would just be great to share that with as many of you as possible. 23rd, this Saturday, finish off the Easter halls, come and say hello. There's also a St George's Day on, where there's loads of stuff going on, like face painting and kids' activities. So if you're going to Durham, pop into the Waterstones, the main one, come and say hello. If you've already got a book, bring your book in and I'll sign it again and date it for you. Thanks, Beverly. Yes, they're going to stock me books as well. How exciting. So you can actually go into Durham Waterstones and you will see Incap on the shelf. And they're also going to put me book in the window, which is mint, isn't it? So, Cottington Fairies, have you heard of them? Nobody has answered. So, the reason I'm saying about this is, if you're not in my Facebook group, you need to get in, because this is where I do all of my activities. I do free online resources for schools, for teachers. There's like activity sheets every week, and I can't upload them on Instagram. It's a nightmare. My website's not very good yet. We're working on that, and I'll be putting stuff on there, right? But the easiest way to do it is to go into me group on Facebook, The Secret World of Mushroom Marvellous, and you'll see all my activities get uploaded. They're great for home educators. They're great for like doing some kind of activity in the school holidays. They're great for teachers, planning lessons, anything. Families who just want to be creative, right? And today is all about an activity which is called Squashed Fairy Journal. Now, the reason I'm asking if you've heard of the Cottington Fairies or not is, the Cottington Fairies was a massive hoax years ago, where 2 little girls took photographs of these fairies and people worldwide thought they were real. And my friend Sarah Ball, who's normally on here from Delightfully Denim, brought us over these beautiful books, okay? And when I saw this book, which was called Lady Cottington's Pressed Fairy Book, which was inspired by the hoax, it made us think about a lush little activity which we're doing today. I'll share stuff into my stories as well to keep you involved if you're not on Facebook, which might inspire you as well. But this, if you look at it, how it's like laid out like a journal, so there's like lots of scriptures on the side, and look at the illustrations. And when I was reading through them, and I was looking at all of the layout and the way, I mean, look at that. That's just exquisite, isn't it? right up our street when it comes to folklore and fantasy. It made us think about how authors or creative people get their ideas down in a journal. So this is what the activity is about all today, is creating your own journal. There's hints and tips and ways of doing it, which I've shared in my group. There's a PDF sheet, which there's a good few sheets, and it's like an activity pack, which is going to show you how to do it. But I'll quickly show you the one that I did for InkCap. And it's, do you know what this is? This is to try and get you to open your eyes, or your family. This is what I say in my workshops when I go into schools or I go to events around wherever. When I'm talking to the kids, I'll say to them, and I'm trying to encourage them to go out when they're out and about, take photos of like little hidey holes, little places where you can imagine these characters or these worlds. Because if people like C.S. Lewis didn't start journaling or writing this type of stuff down, Narnia wouldn't exist. If Narnia didn't exist, you wouldn't have crazy people like me. You wouldn't have books like and stories and magic that you could share with the world, right? So this activity is about trying to encourage you to get any ideas you have up here down on paper, but in a creative way, right? So it can be for anyone who's not even thinking about writing but might want to be a little bit creative for the day. Or it could be somebody who's started writing but hasn't shared it with anyone we would like to see. Or are you thinking about writing something, you just don't know how to get those ideas out of your head onto paper. So there's loads of ways you can journal. This is how I did mine with InkCap at the time. So he's got his little plant pot. There's all of these. And it's not about being the best drawer or anything like that. It's just about getting your ideas down. And this can really help you create a storyboard of what you're wanting to do with your characters. Alright, so this is InkCap actually started off with, he was going to have like a black cape and a black tunic, but then that turned to like navy blue. In his house, that was an actual plant pot that was in my dad's allotment, which I think I've posted on my grid actually, haven't I? There you go. So you can do stuff like tea or coffee stain your paper. I've done that loads of times, me. I've got a I'll show you, I've got a steampunk one up there, which I did. And that was coffee. Steampunk mushrooms up there. So keep watching my stories. If you want to get involved, come into the group, or just get your ideas down. I'd love to see what you create. Waterstones on Saturday. Also, you might have seen I was out and about the last couple of days, and you know what was crazy? So I went down to Matlock, which is in Derbyshire. The reason I was going down was to go to Katie Abbey's shop. Now, unbeknownst to me, when I booked the hotel and everything, I've seen on Facebook, crazy things just keep happening to me. I seen on Facebook that she was doing a portrait day. So it was like £5 for a portrait, and it goes to charity. And she was going to be in there all day. I was like, no way, she's going to be there. So I went down there, managed to meet her and have a big crack with her. She's canny is out. Katie Abbey, absolutely brilliant illustrations if you haven't seen her stuff. Hello, the three. Hello, Fairzy. Beverly, it's 11 o'clock till 2, so you can come whenever you want. And what happened when I went down to Derbyshire was, everywhere I went I saw mushrooms. It totally shows us that I'm on the right path. Like I went into this, I went into a pub, and all over the wall was like mushrooms. What? And then there was another one around the corner which was Alice in Wonderland themed, and then there was loads of mushrooms all over the place. It's like, this is just crazy. Lorraine says, love it all, so proud of you. Oh, thanks, mate. We'll certainly try to get over down to offer further support. Legendary, and thank you for coming to 7 Stories, because everyone who came, I want to thank you, because I think the staff have seen, like when me and Laura went in last week and she's going in again, I think the staff have seen the amount of people we've got who are invested in us. So I think there was like 22 people booked onto one of them. No bother, Beverly. And I think staff have went, whoa. Like, these self-published authors have got a cracking following of people who are like invested in what they're doing. So thank you to everyone who's come, and it's potentially going to start things off because me and Laura were on a Zoom session with one of the key people from 7 Stories yesterday, so watch this space because things are happening right in there. We are. Slowly, we'll get there, we will. Thanks for watching though, and I'll be back next week. See you later. Ta-ra.